It is Wednesday afternoon of August 29th of 2020. And you can see by this hat, you see this hat I'm wearing? We're going to talk about that today, right here on Guy's Daily Drive. Hello, some people. Can't tell who you are because I have to drive. But let's talk about some history. Even better, let's talk about some silly history. And welcome to Guy's Daily Drive, the show that's not every day, but lately 2 shows on Wednesdays and 2 shows on Fridays. So what's not to like? Just got off work. I'm on my way down to the grocery store, pick up some stuff. But that's not what I want to talk about. We're going to talk about a little bit of history. And it's the history of certain parts of the state of Florida. So, you know it's going to be weird. You know it's going to be wacky. And the part of Florida, now, if I was talking about Daytona, or if I was talking about Fort Lauderdale or Miami, people would be like, yeah, well, we know all about those parts. They're just filled with people that are weird, and I should know. I used to be one of them. But no, this is an even odder part of Florida, down in the Keys, the Florida Keys, Key West. And it's always been an odd little place. Lots of weird things going on. And overall, probably, God, I haven't been in that area since the early 80s. Just actually before then, it was long before I left Florida. It was in the late 70s. Yeah, late 70s. Anyway, some stuff happened in 1983 that deserves to be talked about. The U.S. Border Patrol, now remember, when we're talking about the Florida Keys, there's one way in and there's one way out. There's Route 1. That goes the entire length of all the little islands and all the little bridges that make up the Florida Keys. And there's some crooked stuff going on sometimes. So the Border Patrol, in order to try to get a handle on this crooked stuff, set up a roadblock just as you exit the Florida Keys into the rest of Florida. Well, the people that live in the Keys, they rely on Route 1, not just for all the tourists, and there's many of those that it brings, but it's also their lifeline for food, gasoline, and other various essentials that makes life worth living. And having a roadblock means that there's all kinds of traffic that's going to build up in both directions. So they weren't real happy about that. And then you add in the fact that it was the Border Patrol. So they're basically treating these people as if they aren't really part of the United States, as if, they're just, they can do whatever they want and there's not really anything anyone can do about it. So the mayor at the time, and possibly one other official from the Key West government, protested by going to the Dade County. This is in Miami. They went to the Dade County Federal Building, and they didn't lodge a complaint. What they did was told them, I'm the mayor of Key West, and we are seceding from the United States of America because you guys treat us like we're not part of it anyway. And if you don't know what that means, it basically is what the entirety of the South did during the Civil War. They seceded from the Union and declared themselves to be a sovereign nation. So that's what Key West did. They were like, okay, you want to treat us like we're not part of the United States, then we're going to declare ourselves to not be part of the United States. And they formed the Conch Republic. And then they went back, and from the official presidential residence, or whatever they wanted to call it, of the Conch Republic, they declared war on the United States of America, waited about an hour, and then they surrendered. Now, there was actually a movie called The Mouse That Roared that did the same thing. And I actually haven't seen the movie, but I'm aware of its existence, and that's basically the premise of it. It's a small country that is in terrible shape, and so they decide that they're going to declare war on the United States, surrender, and then get a bunch of aid money. Well, that wasn't really what Key West wanted to do. They just wanted the Border Patrol to go away. So when they surrendered and declared themselves to be back part of the United States again. But the point was made, and the Border Patrol removed the stoppage point. They were looking for drugs or illegal aliens or God knows what, but they took that away. Well, you would think that would have been the end of the story, but it's not. Some number of years later, 25 years ago, as a matter of fact, which would make this 1995, I think. I'd have to look it up again. I looked at some of this stuff earlier. I apologize if I don't have any of the dates right, but you guys are getting the gist of what's going on. There was an Air Force Reserve unit that somehow had a ship, a naval ship, and they decided that they were going to practice doing, whoa, dude, idiot. They were going to practice doing a beachhead like D-Day. So the place that they wanted to do this was Key West. And they never bothered to tell anyone there that they were going to do this. But somehow someone found out. And the mayor, same mayor, tried to get a hold of the president at the time, who was Bill Clinton, and get them to call off this invasion of the Conch Republic. But they weren't able to do it. So they rallied. And the Conch Navy, the Conch Republic Navy, had one ship. It was like a 2 or 3 mast schooner, sailboat. And they filled it with stale Cuban bread and water cannons and went out after the boat that was going to do this D-Day like run through in Key West. And they pelted the boat with stale Cuban bread and water cannons. And the captain of the other ship, the Naval Air Force, whatever, whoever it was that was piloting the ship, it could have gotten very, very ugly. I mean, literally, they could have opened fire on this schooner. But wiser heads prevailed, and they did not. and they retreated and then surrendered. So I'm guessing it was the U.S. Navy. They surrendered to the Conch Republic's Navy, issued an apology, and didn't try it again. So this is like the 25th year anniversary of the invasion of the Conch Republic, and like the 38th year of the declaration of the Conch Republic. Now, I mean, this is all tongue-in-cheek. There's no real entity that is recognized by the United States or most other countries in the world of the Conch Republic. But that hasn't stopped them from capitalizing on being a micronation. And this is like kind of a thing. There's a lot of these little micronations all over the world that have done this. And they actually even have their own Olympics, of which the Conch Republic was invited to take part of. And they did, some number of years ago. But if you look on Amazon, which is where I got this hat, you'll see flags, you'll see hats, you'll see shirts, all kinds of stuff celebrating the independence of the Conch Republic. I love this stuff. I love the fact that something like the Conch Republic even exists for whatever reason. I don't even care what the reason is that they made the Conch Republic. I think it's just cool that they did so. Now, every year they have Conch Republic Independence Day, and there's like a bar crawl through Key West for it, and you can actually get a passport. I tried, but I ended up giving up. Number one, it's like $100 for the passport, but it looks like a regular blue lined linen, bound passport. It says, Conch Republic on it, has the mayor's signature in it to make it official. You're not supposed to use it to actually travel on to other countries, but there are, and this shows you that a lot of times people on Border Patrol don't particularly pay attention to the people that are coming in to the country. They just want you to come in and spend money. So there are people who have presented the Conch Republic passport for entry and have gotten entry and exit stamps for their Conch Republic passports. They also sell, it's this like discount card that you can use to like trace the grand steps of the history of the Conch Republic, and you'll get discounts on various drinks and other assorted Key West merchandise. So, isn't this weird that something like this would go on? I may try again. I couldn't get, the other reason why I didn't get the passport, besides of course the fact that it was $100, was like my application for the passport kept getting hung up. So I'm guessing they're having some kind of web issue. Something's gone wrong with their website, and it's just not working the way that it's supposed to. So maybe I'll try again while all this craziness is going on. But that's the Conch Republic down in Key West, Florida. You can check that out. There's various articles detailing the history of the Conch Republic. Look it up online. It's a fun read. But that is going to do it for today, for this episode of Guy's Daily Drive. If you'd like to get a hold of me, my email address is guy@mymac.com. My Twitter handles are MacParrot and VertShark. You can also, if you'd like, go over to my YouTube page. Just look it up under my name, Guy Searle, And when you're there, you can like, share, subscribe to all the various things that I do. You'll receive notifications when new videos go up with Guy's Daily Drive or Mac to the Future, which I'm doing tonight with Warren Sklar and David Ginsburg. Of course, I also do the MyMac.com podcast with Gazmaz. We just released a new episode, Sunday, Monday time frame of this week. And what else? Oh, if you'd like to help support the things that I do, that would be greatly, greatly appreciated. You can help support me by going to Patreon, patreon.com/MacParrot, coffee page, just to make a one-time donation, ko-fi/MacParrot. Also, you can also do a one-time donation through PayPal, paypal.me/MacParrot. And that will do it for today. Thank you all so very, very much for joining me today here on Guy's Daily Drive. And I will see you next time. Bye.